Siding to the house is a critical feature to any residential property, and you'll want to take great care in getting this done the right way. With the right siding, you can preserve and in fact enhance property value, a sorely sought thing to accomplish in this real estate market condition. You want to make sure that the siding that you select is locale appropriate. You'll want to make sure that you can get these things done in a timely manner. The locale appropriateness is an idea that you don't want to, for example, install a New York City-styled brownstone apartment or townhouse with its masonry work, brass and other metal materials for moldings, etc. On a beachfront property in Miami. That just doesn't make any aesthetic sense. Along with the idea of locale appropriateness, what's implied here is the idea that you should purchase and use materials that are available to you and your builders locally. You don't want to have to fly in or import anything exotic to the area. You want to use what's appropriate to your area. If your materials are coming in from any farther than 400 miles, then that's no good. The building in your area is either not sustainable or you're being frivolous. Granted, there are areas, especially in the Midwest Dust Bowl areas, where lumber just isn't available. Building in these areas should be kept sparse. There are suburban developments in these areas that attempted to mass produce residential areas while money was available and cheap, but these developments were the first to lose interest once the real estate market began to crash. You want to make sure you can have local access to anything you use to build up your property. Your siding project is no different. Your house should use materials for sidings that are locally available. Siding is an important feature to the house. It's one of the first things prospective buyers anyway, and guests will notice. You don't want to make a foul decision about your siding, cause it will forever start off conversations when guests come to visit. When you come down to visit your guests, the first things out of their mouth might be questions about the siding you've just installed. In order to make a good decision, you'll want to consult a designer if you are feeling frustrated with the decisions you've been making about your home lately. Your designer or architect will advise you about what would be most appropriate for your siding choice. Siding does not have to be such an ordeal. You can simply aim to select what's most subtle. You can check out your neighbor's siding. If your neighborhood has an established and organized association, there might be bylaws in and of the association that govern the choice of sidings, and will narrow down but help you decide on what sidings are appropriate to use for your property. Check with the association head for details on this. If your home is less than 10 years old, you'll likely not have a problem with having to replace siding, but you might be wanting a new look, in which case, you can consider merely painting your siding. I shouldn't say merely, if we're talking about aluminum however, as this process is relatively involved.